So as you can see, in this picture, it's a little cloudy, but Alsace is one of the most picturesque, most idyllic regions, not just in France, in my humble opinion, but in the entire world. I have a predilection for Alsatian wines. I love them. I'm going to share some of my passion and a little bit of knowledge about Alsace in the short time we have together. Also, at the end, I've got 4 wines I'm going to taste, 2 Rieslings and 2 Gewürztraminers, sort of the iconic classic varieties that you find here. But, I have to say, Alsace is one of the best regions in France to grow grapes. I remember when I first got into wine, one of my favorite wines that kind of got me hooked was Gewürztraminer. And I drank Gewürztraminers all over the world, from Italy, from obviously Alsace, even Louis Martini's Gewürztraminer from Napa Valley, which unfortunately they don't make anymore. But because of that, I was always anxious and really looking forward to visiting Alsace, which I finally did in 1984. And, some people yearn to go to Burgundy, or some people yearn to go to Piedmonte or Champagne. I wanted to go to Alsace. And when I got there, I was still blown away. I mean, all my expectations were exceeded. And one of the main things about what makes Alsace such a great place is that it is in the rain shadow of the Vosges Mountains. And that catches a lot of the rain from the western storms, making Alsace not only one of the sunniest and driest places in France, it's actually, except for certain parts of the south of France, it's the second sunniest place in all of France, which is really hard to believe if you're thinking about, Alsace being in this northern climate. But thanks to the Vosges Mountains, grape growing takes place throughout the summer and into the autumn with very little, if any, rain. And, this picture says 1,000 words. This is what I always imagined Alsace would look like, and this is what it looks like. The cobblestone streets, the little planter boxes with the flowers. When I first went there, quiche Lorraine was all the thing to eat, and, it's a very popular dish, and I fell in love with Alsace wines, and of course, quiche Lorraine, which I still like today, by the way. But it's just, when you get there, the people are hospitable. The wines are very forward and friendly and generous, and the people and the food is as well. And again, just to reiterate how ideal these growing conditions are, it's an exceptional climate thanks to those Vosges Mountains. And this allows the grapes to ripen slowly and over a long period of time to get ideal ripeness. As we'll talk about, some of the best vineyards are up on the slopes, and some of the best wines, the so-called Grand Cru wines, come from the slopes. These slopes tend to be at about 600 to 750 feet. And it's also found that as you get further down to the flatter plains, that's where the wines that simply have an appellation of Alsace on the label would more likely come from. The other thing is all these vineyards, they basically face southeast and east, which is an ideal exposition, and not unlike Burgundy, which is not too far away, which gives you those perfectly ripened grapes. So a little overview, 90% of the wine produced here is white, and it is varietally driven, as you will notice in one of the few appellation or AOC or AOP wines in France that actually puts the name of the grape variety on the label. And I mean, who doesn't love that? And by law, the wines must be bottled in these very tall flute bottles. Today, there are over 4,000 grape growers and about 20 negotiants and co-ops. And those negotiants and co-ops represent about 60% of the population. The other interesting thing about Alsace is if you look back in history, I mean, it's gone back and forth between being part of France and being part of Germany. It's gone back and forth. And many, many years ago, there was a woman who was interviewed on TV. She was from Alsace, and she was born during the Franco-Prussian War, born as a citizen of France. And then World War I came, and she was a citizen of Germany. And then it reverted back to France. And then after World War II, or during World War II, she became a citizen of Germany again. And then after World War II, became a citizen of France. And the interviewer on TV asked her, so, you consider yourself a person of French or German, heritage? She goes, I'm Alsatian. I mean, that's how proud these people are. They don't take any country. They're their own people. And the wines are very unique as well.